All right, let's talk about growing your own peppermint. We're going to break down just how easy it is to have fresh, amazing smelling mint right at your fingertips, even if you just have a little bit of patio space or a sunny window. Seriously, it's one of the most satisfying herbs to grow, and we're going to make it super simple.
So, if you've ever mentioned growing mint to a seasoned gardener, you've probably seen a look of panic in their eyes, right? You hear these wild stories about one tiny plant escaping its bed and just taking over the entire backyard. It's a real thing. That fear is totally justified.
But here's the thing. There is an incredibly simple, foolproof way to get all that delicious minty goodness without any of the drama. And the answer is a pot. That's it. A simple container is the perfect way to harness all of that crazy energy and keep this wonderful plant right where you want it.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into exactly why a pot is so essential for peppermint. Then, we'll walk through a super easy 3-step plan to get you started. After that, it's all about the daily care, sun and water. Then the best part, how to harvest. And we'll wrap up with a few quick tips in case you run into any little snags.
Okay, let's dive in. Part 1. Taming the minty beast. You see, the very thing that makes peppermint such a handful in a garden, that unstoppable will to grow, is exactly what makes it so fantastic and easy for us to grow in a container.
So what's its secret weapon? Well, it's these underground stems called rhizomes. Think of them like a secret network of tunnels the plant sends out in every direction. And wherever those runners decide to pop up to the surface, a whole new mint plant starts growing. You can see how that gets out of hand fast. A pot basically acts like a fortress. It's a physical wall that those rhizomes just can't get through.
And please, don't let all this talk about its aggressive nature scare you. That same energy is what makes it so forgiving. I love this quote because it's so true. Mint is pretty much the ultimate confidence booster for a new gardener. And with our container strategy, you're basically guaranteed to succeed.
Now that we understand why the pot is our best friend, let's get to the really fun part, the actual planting. I've broken it down into a simple 3-step plan to make sure your peppermint is happy from day one.
It really just comes down to these 3 things: getting the right pot, using the right soil, and starting with the right kind of plant. You get these 3 pieces of the puzzle right, and you are good to go.
First up, the pot itself. You're going to want to find something that's at least 10, maybe 12 inches deep. This gives the roots plenty of space to stretch out. And this is non-negotiable. Make sure it has drainage holes at the bottom. Mint loves moisture, but if its roots are sitting in a puddle, they'll rot. And that's a quick end to our minty dreams.
Next up, the soil. And hey, don't feel like you need to overthink this. Any good all-purpose potting mix from the store will do the trick. Just look for one that says well-draining. We want soil that can stay moist but not turn into a swamp.
Okay, this part is really important, and it's a common mistake. You can't really grow true peppermint from seeds. See, peppermint is actually a sterile hybrid, a cross between 2 other types of mint. So the seeds it produces won't grow into a real peppermint plant. The best way by far is to just buy a little starter plant from a nursery. Or you can even take a cutting from a friend's plant or a bunch you bought at the grocery store.
All right, so your plant has its new home. Now what? Let's talk about the day-to-day care, which is honestly so easy. Just think of it as your daily cheat sheet with only 2 main rules. So rule number 1 is sun. Peppermint is a sun worshiper. It wants at least 6 hours of good sun every day. Now, if you live somewhere that gets scorching hot, it won't complain about a little shade in the late afternoon. And rule number 2 is water. The key here is consistently moist, and the easiest way to check? Just stick your finger an inch or so into the soil. If it feels dry, give it a drink. If it still feels damp, you can wait. It's that simple.
And now we get to the absolute best part of growing any herb, the harvest. With mint, this is especially cool because harvesting doesn't slow the plant down. It actually tells it to grow even more.
Okay, for the absolute best flavor, try to harvest your mint in the morning. That's when the essential oils are the most potent. And when you go to snip a stem, cut it just above a spot where 2 leaves are branching out. This encourages the plant to split into 2 new stems from that point, which makes it grow way bushier. Just remember to harvest regularly, but never take more than about 1/3 of the whole plant at once.
You have to remember you're not hurting the plant when you pick from it. You're actually helping it. Every single sprig you snip for your drink or your dinner is a signal for it to grow back stronger and fuller. It is the perfect win-win situation.
Lastly, let's just touch on a couple of common issues you might see. But don't worry, they're super easy to fix. This is just about knowing what to look for to keep your plant happy.
Okay, the two most common things you might notice are leggy stems or yellowing leaves. If your mint starts to look all long and stretched out with big gaps between the leaves, it's basically screaming, "I need more sun." The fix? Move it to a sunnier spot. And if you see yellow leaves, especially down at the base of the plant, that's usually a sign of too much water. Just ease up a bit and let the soil dry out more between waterings. And what about pests? Mint is pretty tough, but sometimes tiny little aphids or spider mites might show up. Before you even think about chemicals, just try this. Take it to your sink or outside with a hose and give it a good, strong blast of water. Most of the time, that's literally all it takes to knock them right off.
And there you have it. You've tamed the minty beast, you've given it the perfect home, and you know exactly how to care for it. So really, the only question left is, when that first harvest is ready, what are you going to make first? A cool, refreshing mojito or a warm, comforting cup of fresh tea? Either way, enjoy it.